Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today I've noticed something very strange on Nifty Gateway. This is definitely happening in the normal art world, but especially with NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Now don't blame Bitcoin, don't blame crypto, don't blame NFTs, because money laundering also happens with fiat currency and especially with the dollar. There will always be a percentage of crime occurring. It depends on the relative ease, but I've noticed a few examples that either are a little too sketchy or they could be something criminal such as money laundering or tax evasion. So let's explore that topic today. So here we are on Nifty Gateway, and this is a piece. These are all going to be recent examples. This is a piece that came out a few days ago. We can go down and see all the information about it. This edition last sold for $420 and it's on sale for $510 by this individual user. And we can see that this is the 41st piece that was minted. Now we're able to make a global offer, buy now, and check out the global history as well as the edition history. So what this individual was putting the prices as. But if we check out market stats, we can see this was a drawing. This was a nice lottery piece that was $25. The average resale price $783.25. The highest active bid $350. It was created a few days ago, and there's been a total of 121 secondary sales so far. So it's very, very interesting. When we go to global history, it's going to take a little bit to load here, and there we go. The first example, 4 hours and 7 minutes ago, we can see that it was being sold 9 hours ago for $530, $530, $510, $499, $450. So maybe it appreciated to $550, $560, maybe even $600, but $3,500? I don't think so. Also, we see here $5,555, $3,000 for a piece that's worth $500. This doesn't make sense, but take a look at this specific user. I found a different piece. There we go. This is a Ecstasy of Crypto 2. I actually have this piece myself. This edition last sold for $500. It's on $550, and if we go to market stats, we can see average resale price of $795.62. It was created a little bit before that other piece, $500. Highest active bid $420 with a number secondary sales for $177. And we see that most of them are completely normal. $550, $520, $513, $850. That's a little interesting. $888. This might look a little shady. Maybe that's because these individuals, the people who are buying, are later sending them to their other accounts. You also have to look at whether there's a profile picture. If there's no profile picture, I don't personally have a profile picture, so this may not mean a lot, but there's a lot of people who have secondary and third accounts. They have multiple accounts, and for drawings, they might use an account with no profile picture, a new account, send it to their main account. So we're going to check out this individual right over here. But what I've seen before is the most extreme example. I will try and find it. That's with faces. People were buying from secondary accounts for $7, $10, a piece that was selling for $400, $500. So you have to realize every single time there is a sale, there's a 15% fee. So when someone's selling for $513, they're not getting $513, they're getting $400 something. So someone took a massive loss when they sold it for $7. The only logical explanation that can be is that these were multiple accounts owned by the same individual, and later on they're reporting these losses in their taxes, because who is purchasing a lot of NFTs? Crypto rich individuals, people who made thousands, maybe potentially millions of dollars in the past few weeks, months, or even years from Ethereum or Bitcoin. And now they want to launder their money through NFTs. And this is the perfect way to go about it. There's a lot of laundering happening in the normal art world, so it only makes sense that it would transfer to the NFT world as well. Now, of course, most of these pieces and sales are perfectly fine, but this individual sticks out like a sore thumb. $5,888 for something. This is more than 10 times its price. And again, it is an individual. This is a third piece of his. It's an individual that is overpaying for multiple pieces, more than 10, 11, 12x what they're worth. And that's the other account. Here is his other piece. This is a third piece that he owns. It's the only one that he currently owns. The other ones he sold. We can see with the edition history exactly what has happened over here. So someone purchased it for $333. It was sent to a secondary account. So maybe a backdoor deal, or maybe a secondary account by the same individual. It's put on sale for $450. Montserrat bought it for 450, listed it for 3,000. All right, there's a lot of people who list it for a fair amount. And then he keeps boosting it, 7,777. Why this jump? What's going on? Maybe another account's going to purchase it. Who knows? There's a lot of shady stuff, so I'm definitely going to follow this guy and see what's going on. But let's check out Michael Doherty over here. So he purchased it for 850, but he didn't do anything with it as of yet. But what's interesting, Abe was wanting to sell it for $1,200 here, but he did raise it from $800. So over the past 2 days, maybe he accepted the offer $850 because that's what he originally wanted to sell it for. However, what's interesting is that Michael shouldn't have purchased it for $850 when everybody else was selling for $500, because here is how it works. We go to the marketplace, we see this piece right here, but we're not going to click on it. We're going to click on the artist. You have to go down here, Marlius Spirlich, You Only Loved Me When You Were High. We click the piece and we see that it was last sold for $550, original listing for $500. And if we go to all of those that are on sale, it simply doesn't make sense to purchase something that's even a small difference of $800 and $500, because it's not even on the first page. And on the second page as well, it's not there. There's so many people willing to sell for that price. It's only on the third page that we start to get into the 800s, but it's not even until halfway down. So even that move is a little shady. Maybe it was a friend, who knows? Maybe it was a secondary account. There's something weird going on with that. As you can see, there's already a fair amount of examples just with 2-3 pieces. Here is another recent example from 2 days ago. As we see, Jason bought from Federico for $7,966, and even though it just says 2 days ago, usually these transactions happen within a few minutes of each other, so you're really easily able to tell that these are either secondary accounts or they're sending to friends. And here is another example. We see that Ellen DeGeneres, obviously someone just made that up, sent without even, probably it's not a backdoor deal, probably it's just a secondary account within minutes usually after getting it, because this was a drawing. People have sometimes even 50 accounts because one might win the drawing. They send it to another account and we see that immediately was posted up for $6,000, but now it's currently $501. But still, purchased for $333, even with the 15%, there is profit, so I guess that works. But still, even small examples like this might just be, multiple accounts. This isn't as shady, but I'm just showing you as many examples so you're able to just kind of spot what is normal reseller tactics, even though they may be immoral, what might be tax evasion, and what might be money laundering. So these money laundering examples, possibly, allegedly, we aren't able to tell, but this is either tax evasion or money laundering, depending on how they're going to report this. Because as we see, these are normal prices, $450, and then what? It's just like, why did just, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So let's now look at faces. So I couldn't find the extreme example, but someone on the Discord for NG has found this example, which was still from faces. Same account, bought for $920, and then 3 hours later was selling it for $799. Why are they doing this? It depends on capital taxes, and they're probably wanting to gain some losses that they're technically pulling out of thin air, since they're hoping that if they report their taxes, and this is all new, that the IRS or whatever their country is, whatever tax entity that they're going to owe money for, doesn't really look into this too far, which right now it still is kind of the Wild West days for NFTs. They're able to report small losses like these over plenty of transactions and save themselves losses, because if you report losses, for example, with the IRS, you can claim up to $3,000 for however long, however many years, and save yourself a bunch of money. Here is an extreme example of laundering. As you can see, normal price is $900, $800, $900, $5,800, $3,500, and they're dealing with multiple accounts, $1,500, $5,000. So there's a lot going on here. As you can see, multiple accounts from here onto here, super shady. This with faces is normal, 1,080, 1,333 original price, but these are low mints out of 4,000, 5,000, 116, 121. People didn't want to wait that long, and they probably resold later for a good value. So this is normal when you're paying way more than it's originally worth, when it's low mints, the artist's growing in value, or it's still during the process of minting and they're going to flip it for maybe a quick $100 profit within the first half hour, right? So the whole minting of this took I think 24 hours. It took definitely 16 hours before I got my 2 faces. All right, there's just way too many faces, so I wasn't able to find the extreme example, but you have to trust me. Some guy literally sold something that was worth 400 bucks for $7, $8. That was the craziest example. But I found another one, $1,020. Jalad bought it, put it up for sale for 300. Yeah, same day, probably same hour. Someone bought it, obviously, because they made a profit. So that's good. Maybe it's the same account, who knows? But people were wondering, well, how does money laundering work? There's obviously a 15% fee, sometimes a 20%, depends on the artist, but most 15%. There's the transaction fees that you have to pay if it's Ethereum. So let's just, for math's sake, make it 20%. People are going to say, oh my God, no one's going to launder thousands of dollars at a time, because this is not a lot going through, but certain pieces are definitely getting laundered for 100,000 plus, 200,000 plus, and who knows, maybe these $1 million auction bids, not all of them, but some of them might be associated with money laundering or criminal activities, because it's an easy way to clean dirty money, use it for something, and then park that money later on down the line, maybe a few months from now, a few years from now, take it out, use it for another purchase. And it has to be cleaned a few times. It has to be tumbled, essentially. So if you use Bitcoin tumblers, or you go onto an exchange, but there's going to be a lot of KYC problems, it's going to cost you a lot more than 20%. I can guarantee you that, because if you use a tumbler only once, it's not clean. You have to tumble it a lot, and there's various risks with that, because sometimes there's shady tumblers. Not that I recommend all of this, but obviously it's illegal, so, definitely don't recommend. But I'm just trying to show something that looks pretty sketchy to me. It happens all the time in the normal art world. So this is definitely something to worry about with NFTs, but any form of art world, any business really can be affected by this. So that's today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. Please leave a like, comment, and share. And we're going to see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining in on every single day's piece of content. Let me know down in the comment section below whether you think it's money laundering or tax evasion, or just something pretty shady, but gray area legality. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for watching.